Welcome everyone, Andrew Bodden with Farms.com, and I'm here joined with Kjaer from BioCV. So BioCV is a pretty new company, so tell us a little bit about the history of CV.
So BioCV is originally founded in Germany by two engineers who has developed a technology with on sensors that can measure different movements of the sensors, which were then transferred into the animal side. So in a little ear tag where you have an accelerometer and a thermometer, and these two gives then signals to via machine learning, where we can identify issues like estrus, so sow behavior, like if she changed estrus, MMA, if she's starting to farrow, we can predict farrowing in 24 to 48 hours before. We can identify estrus 12 hours before, and we can see lameness very early on.
Oh wow! So that's a lot of information you're able to gather in these little units. We have an announcement about the BioCV intelligence. So tell us about that and why that is so unique.
So we are moving from the to the U.S. market now. We started very slowly last year, and we have pilots in a multiple number of sow farms. And we are now establishing our own local unit here so that we can support the U.S. customers for what U.S. customers need.
So you're now into this market. Tell us a little bit about what made you decide to come over to this market and where you see the best fit for you.
Well, the U.S. swine industry is very concentrated, so it's big units, and of course labor is a big issue. So finding the individual animal and caring about the individual animal becomes very challenging. And we think this one can help people identify the animals early. Just going into a pen with 40 sows, find the one lame sow in there is challenging. And we know that the labor situation in the U.S., like in many other countries, is very challenging. So we think this has a unique opportunity to serve the producers here, to help them identify and manage some of the challenges they have in this situation.
That's awesome. It's very important that we get that done. So tell us about how reliable this system is and how important it is to make sure that what the data is correct.
So we have of course done a number of trials before we brought this to market, and we are doing trials in the U.S. market. So on the estrus detection, we know that from a big systems that we are over 90% accuracy, so it can make it's very precise. When you get into some of the early detection of farrowing, we also know that we have a very high accuracy of this, and the lameness is also a factor where we can see the machine becomes better and better every day, but we can identify the animals individually based on their gait, on how they walk, and then we can see the deviations from that. So I think the key is that the accuracy is very high, and the accuracy becomes even higher as the system works with your farm, because it's your algorithm that makes it precisely what you need. You might have a Duroc situation, and that's always challenging because they don't show a lot of symptoms, but with the ear tags you can find them earlier.
So we talked about some of the technology here. Tell us about the benefits to the farmer or the producer on the heat side.
So especially if you miss a heat in a young gilt, well, you missed 3 weeks. So that immediately costs you on feed, but also all the components that we capture helps increase the productivity, like make sure that your farrowing goes well, make sure that you don't have a sow that's lame and you have to call, but you can intervene early, because the cool thing is that this is in the barn 24/7. So when you're going home, it's still checking your animals, and that's why when you come back in the morning, you can create your little list of things, the animals you need to check. Instead of checking 3,000 sows, you need to check maybe 100.
Amazing. So great time savings, great for managing people. I guess one other question I would have is: are you integrated with other record-keeping systems that exist?
That's a very good question. We operate with what we call an open API, so we can export all the data to whoever wants to capture it, because we know nobody wants 15 different apps to open. We wanted to integrate it into existing systems. If it doesn't work that way, we can still go alone, but we have the ability to integrate into any sow management systems and also into automatic sow feeders, for example.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's amazing. That's amazing. So pretty exciting news that we've got this here, and we're going into the U.S. market. How do people find out more about your technology? How are you being distributed, all those fantastic things, and now we're here, we want to make sure that we can get it out to the right people.
So like everybody else, we have a website, of course, BioCV.info, where a lot of this information is available, but also come to the booth if you're around here, or contact us directly. We are always present, and with a U.S. local representation, we can respond to people quickly.
All right. Well, again, on behalf of Farms.com, I'm Andrew Bodden. Thank you, Jans, for joining me, and keep an eye out for BioCV and a lot of their great technology.
Come and see us.